That's Jeff. Jeff, we see you. We'll get you in.
Les got red light fever.
We got red light fever. Hey, we are live. What's
You like,
going on, Break Room family?
what's happening?
Another Monday,
That's your boy T McBlack, the chocolate gent.
and this is just Les,
We are
the
in the
other
break
gent.
room.
I'm black too.
Yeah, he's a chocolate gent as well. Hey,
Hey,
what's
check
been
this
happening
out,
with
though,
you?
man.
What's going on?
Got a little bit.
Hey, Les is getting some gray hair on that beard. All right. I've been influencing him because I'm the chocolate gent. I figured, look, might as well embrace it. Either that or be a phony and use Beijing. People who use hair dyes are
Yeah, I was
phony.
using that Beijing for a minute there.
Don't use that, man. God didn't make Beijing for you to cover up the creation that he put on your face. Why would he make you gray and then let you go get some stuff from China to put on your face to turn your hair
I tell a
blue
lot
black?
of people that.
I tell everybody that. That's because I'm not going to dye mine.
Be gray and thankful.
That's right. Gray pride. Anyway, we got some things to talk about. I still want to fire up on the Chauvin guy, whatever his name is.
Oh my goodness.
I still want to talk. I want to talk about a defense lawyer so bad. This man went to college 12 years to be a jackass. I guess it's a job, but boy, I tell you,
That is crazy. And we got some great guests coming up on today. We got Articulate.
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 She's from Hot Sauce Poetry in the city. She's also a very talented young lady.
Very talented.
We'll be bringing you all that in the break room.
In the break room.
That's our logo.
That's
the
us.
break.
Created by Kennedy Ray Thompson. That's right, son of Devin B. Thompson,
So,
brother of T. McBlack, nephew of T. McBlack.
Devin B. Thompson. I want to give a shout out to my son.
Oh man,
He surprised me. I know he's working on some music, but I didn't know he's working on a single coming out.
hey man, I heard his single and I sent him an inbox. I said, remember when you used to come by the studio and I used to just ride you? I used to ride you because you growing out, stretching out. Kid boys gonna be boys, but I just let him know that other people are watching him, not just his dad, but his uncle watching him. So it's just like, it's funny. You have your destiny set for your children. You want them to do things. You want them to avoid the path that you did, but
Right.
you'll find out that God has His own timing, His own way for your kids. All you can do, you do what you do. You pray for them, raise them, and then you got to put them out there. And man, he's growing up,
Yes, he is.
and his music is on point, man. Both your boys are killing it, man, on the music.
Yeah, I'm proud of him, man. And then got Shaniqua. She just came out with a single. She's working on a album.
We expect that from Shanika. Shanika's always a go-getter. She's always trying something, always doing something. She's kind of like me. I'm just gonna always put my hat in the ring. I'm gonna always do something. She's like that, so I expect nothing but greatness from them. So
But hey, they hung around us.
yeah, they should. Yeah, but
Yeah, so
hang around me. Cussing. You be cussing at school. You hang around Uncle Tory. In the break. Man, I got to get one of those buttons, man, so I can. We gonna put some sound bites on it, like we ain't gonna have donkey today, but we're gonna have dummy. Yeah. Right now, Derek Chauvin's defense team are dummy. Yeah.
Today, man,
Irritating.
very irritating.
Like I say, man, you have to watch what you say because I already went to Facebook jail and I'll say the wrong thing, and then the break room have to be like from Mars or something. I mean, I'm never gonna advocate violence. But like I say, rioting, I'm not going to give you my opinion on that. But they say it's the cry of the unheard. And for years, we've been unheard. And yet and still, policemen have the nerve to still be on Facebook or still be videoed acting a plumb fool out here. And it's more and more popping up. I understand that, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not for abolishing the police. I just want the police to police and be fair.
Right.
Quit acting like, get this God complex out of your mind. People can talk to you the way they want to.
Right.
But like I said, there are a set of laws. Don't create stuff. People in the room all the time do the job, be fair, get your pension, and retire, do your thing. But on the other side, if you're blatant and you're doing something that is, well, if you're going to break the law, then you should expect something to happen to you at the same time.
Exactly.
But if you're not breaking the law, then I get where you're coming from. But we had that talk a while ago. But these guys that we are catching on social media, it's like they
don't
they
get
are
it.
bucking against the system.
They don't get it.
They don't get it, but they'll get it when they're working at Walmart.
Right. Yeah, we're not bashing police because there are some good police officers. There was one that even came on the break room page and was transparent about the Dante Wright shooting. He's a retired police officer, and we know, and I've known quite a few officers in Joliet, and there's some good ones, and unfortunately, there's some bad apples. So we're not um, coming against or coming down police. We're coming down on the bad ones that's making the good ones look good. But when will the good ones have the courage to come against the blue line? The blue line is pretty strong.
Well, the blue line is starting to turn light blue because now they have it where if I'm going to put my pension and my job on the line
Well,
because you were a fool, then they're starting to nail people. So think about it.
yeah,
If I come up and they're overturning it because the black lady just got reimbursed.
yeah,
She
saw
got
that.
fired
Yeah,
15 years,
yeah,
and because she stopped somebody from a chokehold. That's when that blue line was thick. It was a thick
yeah.
blue line.
She got fired because of
She
that.
got fired and she got reimbursed. So she got it all back. What's that scripture? Lest the wealth of the wicked is laid up.
For
It
the
got
righteous. Yeah,
biblical. But you know what? It should be like that. I mean, I know there's teams, team sport competition, but there's no way I'm going to put my career on the line because you did something that was blatant and stupid. And the point is,
Agreed.
because we're both on the call, they're going to look at both of us. So I'm going to openly say, hey, man, that ain't necessary. I'm going to go sit in my car if you keep on because I got bills
That's
and
right.
I don't want to go to jail. I mean, that's what it takes. It's just if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Because I'm not taking the heat.
That's right.
And that's that military mindset. I'm not going to lie to you. We are 89, 80, 90 guys strong in boot camp.
We,
And when one guy messed up, all of us paid.
yeah,
I understand the mentality, but see, those are preparing for somebody for war. So I understand that mindset to be accountable for each other, but I'm not going to be accountable if you are going to be a blatant fool. That's just all there is to it.
blatant,
Yep.
blatant fool.
That's all it is, bro.
Yeah, and Kevin, no, Eric Nelson today. I couldn't even listen to his
I can't do
closing because it was foolish.
it. I can't.
It was straight foolish.
Yet some people have hope, and because of their racist ways, they want. I mean, the bad thing is it takes one person to.
That's all it takes.
And you know what? I'm just going. Well, I tell you, right when we thought the Trayvon Martin situation was
Wow.
we figured that was a wash. We figured like it ain't no way.
Right.
This guy wasn't even a policeman.
Right.
The young boy put the fops on him. Fops. Put the fops on. Fop, fop, fop. Foo fops. Y'all ain't from the old school. Put the fops on the dude, shot him. Florida's horrible. I mean, most of us learned to put them hands up.
So
So
did.
dude followed the boy, wanted to be a policeman. The boy put hands on him, and he got shot. And the man got away with it. Now he's out here on He's out here doing trade shows, signing autographs, signing bags of Skittles. I wish, and
Did
even
he sell the gun that he shot Trayvon?
man, the whole thing is,
Crazy.
coming up and being Christian, you want to forgive and all that. I could care less. I hope he get hit by a truck 3 times, then hope the truck back up, run over him, and then get out and urinate on him. But I just like, hey man, I have no love for him, and I can't be fake. I hope nothing. I mean, I wish nothing good for him, man. So it's like I'm not going. I can't even play.
Transparent on that. I'd be like Elijah and stick a bear on him.
I like our band. Just okay. Who's our guest? Well, you're gonna stick the Chicago. If you stick the Chicago Bears on him, he'll still be living. Let's say you want to stick a bear on him. Like, okay, next guest. Bear, come get him.
Come get him. Chew him up.
Hey, you know what? I met a lady some years ago when I was on the poetry scene in Chicago.
Okay.
And I did one of her biopics. I did some photos for her one time. She is articulate. I mean, I'm going to read her. She texts me too.
Well, here goes our segment for our spoken word
Articulate,
talent.
host of Hot Sauce Poetry. You can bring her in. Hot Sauce Poetry. Produce TV shows on WCIU. She's featured on WGN Channel 9. She is Tiffany McCaskill, aka Articulate. She loves God, people, and Harold's Chicken.
Welcome to the break room.
Hey, she told me to say that. That just good. You want to plug Harold, maybe she get a two
Harold's
piece for this.
chicken.
Articulate, what's going on?
Hi, what's going on, everyone? I'm enjoying your show. I'm enjoying the comedy y'all bringing forth, and your thoughts. I'm doing pretty good. How are you all?
Great.
Doing great, great.
Thank you.
Thought about you. I thought about you a little while ago. I said, I'm gonna get her to get up. We've been doing segments and having spoken word artists come on and hit them a little what you got. You could actually, if you got something coming up, this would be your moment. You could let everybody know what's going on, what you do, and then you could go right into the piece.
Okay. My name is Articulate, the founder of Hot Sauce Poetry Chicago. And we will be running into our 12th anniversary in June. We've been having shows back to back to back. When the pandemic came, we converted to virtual shows, actually, virtual shows. So this coming Friday, we'll be back doing indoor shows at
Good.
the Hope, yeah, at the Hope
You gonna wear
Cafe.
a mask?
Huh?
Are you guys have to practice social distancing and wear masks and all that good stuff?
Yes, what we're going to do is we're going to have the audience members that wear masks, but if anybody want to get on the mic, we are giving them the liberty to be maskless on the mic.
Yeah, because talking on the mic doing poetry like roses are red, roses are blue. Who's gonna hear you if you speak in your mask?
Exactly, exactly. So it will be sanitizer on deck, mask on deck as well. The show is sold out, so we're actually overly sold out. So I'm kind of nervous because we might have to turn some people away. And this is the one thing in the history of hot sauce poetry that
Hey,
we have had sold out shows before, but this is the first time in over 10 years that we ever had a sold out show within 72 hours.
that's awesome.
So
People are itching to get up there. People want to get up there.
yeah, that was amazing. This theme is going to be making you laugh poetically, where we're going to have featured poets doing comedy poems, where some people call it as commentary. And T Black, I just want to say that you are the first photographer that ever gave me a really like a headshot, real professional artist photo as a poet. When I
I,
first came on the
I only look,
stage,
I only asked you to come on so you could plug me like that without me having to.
and I'm tell, and then I was I wasn't sure. I think I had a photo. I think when I was like a younger kid or something like that. But as an artist, as a first artist, he was the very first photographer I ever had. He made me feel comfortable, relaxed. He enhanced, the photos and so forth. Are you still doing photography?
Of course, don't ever ask that. Of course, you think I just stop after you? Just you know what? I'm done. I just want to do her one time and then just yeah, I get down. Come on, let's hit us one of them hot pieces. I don't know,
Okay.
you can do whatever you want. It's one of those formats. If it's funny, if it don't have to be conscious, it can be whatever you're comfortable with. And you know what? We like you. We like you.
Oh, thanks. I love you all.
All right.
So with this poem right here, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We have Rona and her 19 friends trying to catch people, and we still have people that are not washing their hands. And some of them not even using sanitizer. So this poem is actually dedicated to that coworker that I know that don't wash her hands when she leave the bathroom. Oh.
Nasty people.
Nasty people.
So I seen you in the bathroom and you didn't wash your hands. You get off the stall, touch the exit door, then you shook that dude's hand. Now I thought you was nasty, or maybe you forget. But soap only takes a couple of seconds, even 20 seconds, for why you forget. And you know we in a pandemic, and you know Rona is out there with her 19 friends. And you didn't even put water on your hands, and that ain't even cool. Especially since you was in that stall doing a number 2. Now, you up there told me that you don't wash your hands all the time. You said you only wash your hands when you have visible stains on your hands. I'm like, man, you a hot mess. But you better make sure you use that sanitizer the next time you're talking about touching my desk. I think it's another line I'm gonna add in there too that I just realized was somebody that I seen somewhere else that didn't wash their hands. So I'm probably gonna add that line probably in the next couple of days. Because I noticed that it just seems like people should be more open now and than ever to put something on their hands, wash their hair. They should be more conscious, but they're not. I have another point, but I don't know how much time you all have.
You got 8 seconds.
Oh, I got 8 seconds. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Quick quote. Why do brothers always say they want a thick chick, but they can't never afford to feed us? So that poem might be streaming live on Friday, April 23rd on the Hot Sauce Poetry.
You get us in trouble.
Go ahead, hit it real quick. Go ahead, hit it real quick.
Oh yeah. Oh well. I haven't memorized by then. But now this other poem I was going to do was, why do you call yourself a beautician? Why do you call yourself a beautician? You ain't never on time. So you told me my appointment started at 8, but you don't get there till 9, and it don't take 4 hours for my hair to dry. So tell me, why you be lying? And why you be booking 10 people for the same time? So why do you call yourself a beautician? And I'm not trying to poke no fun, but why every time I see you, your hair ain't ever done? So after dealing with you, I realized I'm through, because you made good beauticians look bad. You dig? You made a young girl like me who love perms go straight to these wigs. And those 2 quick snippet pieces.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you all so much.
All right, so they can check you out, Hot Sauce Poetry. They can go to Facebook and type that in. I'm sure they'll be able to find you.
Absolutely.
And when's that next show again? You said a show coming up?
She sold out. Don't be talking about it. She sold out already.
Well, we're going to be every second and fourth Friday at the month. Every second and fourth Friday.
Every second and fourth Friday. You could have been typing it on the lower half, but you're playing games. All right, engineer over there doing her nails. All right, Articulate. We'll give you a shout out another time, ladies and gentlemen. Articulate from Hot Sauce Poetry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
That was all right, man.
Our engineer over there playing games. Hot Sauce Poetry.
Hot Sauce Poetry.
What's wrong with you over there? Where we gotta go? Where we gotta go?
Lip syncing. You can talk. You can talk on the show.
You watching the show?
You watching the show?
Then you should have knew to type that in right there. You could have been typing that in at the bottom. I'm supposed to do it. I ain't that coordinated.
I'm sorry, I can't do it from my phone.
You do it from the iPad right there. Well, that was Articulate. Next week, if you got something, you got one of them hot pieces, you got something you'd like to go ahead and do. We have a small segment every beginning of the show. And let's see what we got. Who else we got here?
We got Brother Jeff Thompson.
We got Mr. Jeff Thompson. You know what? I'm not gonna put Jeff on the spot, but you know what? Jeff is one who he's versed in many things. He's a professional musician. He's also a part of the group Onus. Jeff is just an all-around good guy. You know what? And I know people see a lot of, most of our guests are always African American. Jeff is too. But I just figured we would we change it up and let one of our friends, our brothers from another mother, figure we let him come in and see what's up. Mr. Jeff Thompson.
What's up, Jeff?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
What's going on, man? Yeah, speak loud though, man. Your beard looks
Can
nice.
you hear me?
Well, don't play games, dude. Don't play games.
What's up?
What's going on, man? Just wanted to give you a shout, man. You know what, people, how do I put it? People don't see things. I take that people don't see things like some of your perspectives, because we talk a lot on Facebook, and we also get engaged in a lot of political things like that. I want your take from a non-African American of first America, second maybe the trial of what you witnessed, because of course a lot of Jeff was married to a African American lady, and I know he saw the world different from a lot of us, or he might have saw some of the things we go through firsthand. And I want you to shed some light on some of the situations. It's just, you feel free to talk about whatever you like.
All right. Well, that's a pretty open-ended question.
Oh, I know how to monitor it. I'll put a buzzer on you if you say the wrong thing.
Well, you started out with America, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, I have a lot more appreciation for America now that I went and visited Nigeria. I see all the problems in America, especially racially. But you know what? There's a lot of problems other places too, and I start to gain appreciation for America even with all its flaws.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of them.
Yeah, Jeff, I learned that when I was in the military, and I went to a lot of third world countries, and I actually learned to appreciate what we have. And like I say, there are issues, but I don't live in those other countries. I live here where we are supposed to be in the land of the free.
Right.
And yeah, we're free to a certain extent, but there's still a lot of systematic things. So, Jeff, have you, because of your affiliation, have you lost any friends? That you think of, back then, have you lost any friends because of your choice or who you may have, chose to love?
I've not lost friends, but I've lost acquaintances.
Okay, it makes sense.
Because anybody that I lost wasn't really a friend in the first place.
There you go. Don't get all poetic. Don't get all poetic. Yeah,
well, I can't match the previous guest, but
man, I understand that. You it's like you went to, were you in Nigeria?
Yes, Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah.
Lagos, Nigeria. What's one thing that you experienced there that it makes you appreciate here being in America? Because you say you saw it and it makes you appreciate it more.
Everybody is trying to get a job. Like everybody, some people have jobs, but even if they have a job, they're trying to get another one.
So economically, it's
a very depressed place. Now, I don't know if Lagos is different than other parts of the country. Lagos is like one of the most populated places in Africa. Mm-hmm. So it might be different. It might be the difference between, Chicago and, Bourbonnais.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you know what, Jeff? I'm just gonna get down to a heavy question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, you, like I say, you are. I think you're unique, and maybe it shouldn't be, because I think everybody should have love for everybody, and no matter what their race is, and no matter the situation. As a white American, Caucasian American, do you feel that there is systematic racism?
Definitely.
Definitely. So, is it a mindset? Because it's like, Jeff, I have other friends who maybe I should call associates. They just can't seem to see it. It's just, and it baffles me that they can't recognize it. Is it that they don't want to, or give me some input.
I think it's guilt, because once you're on, if I'm on the receiving end of advantage, and someone else is disadvantaged, and it's all because of the color of our skin, I kind of feel like that's my fault, even though I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? So if I have to, it's like white privilege. A lot of people won't admit there's white privilege.
So it's real.
Because so if you admit, but there's a lot of types of privilege, but white privilege is one of them. But so most people feel that if they admit to that, then that means they're part of the problem. That they're that they're part of the problem.
It's amazing. Now, like I said, I have friends at work, and I always use the word friend. I just don't get into it because that don't work on it don't work in the workplace, and I can go without it. So that's why I get on Facebook and I do my thing. So you actually gave me a pretty good perspective. It's guilt. I'm not guilty if a black guy goes and goes to Kmart with a rifle. I mean, I'm not.
Right.
I care less. I mean, I ain't gonna say I care less, but I'm not going to feel guilty. If I feel bad about it, but I won't feel guilty. Right. It's just
I don't understand why some people don't say, okay, this is wrong. I don't want the empathy or the sympathy. Just say it's wrong. Because of what happened. If I've known somebody of the same culture, same skin color, and they selling drugs in my neighborhood, I'm not gonna stick up for them. I'm gonna say it's bad. Regardless of what color they are. That I guess that's the thing, Jeff, that I even the older I get, I just don't understand, because our parents grew up in the civil rights movement, and I can't remember one time, not one single time, even my grandparents brought us up to hate white people. Not one time.
Not once.
And they had it worse than us.
Absolutely.
As far as 1965, that's when the civil rights movement went forth. That when Dr.
born.
King was assassinated. And he was a great man that got assassinated. We got Malcolm X that was assassinated. So many assassinations for nothing, just because we're standing up for our rights. And my parents not once told me to hate anybody. And I can't change the pigment of my skin.
They told me to watch them. They told me not to hate them.
So you don't know me. So how can you hate me because of the color of my skin? And that's one thing. And I still don't hate. I can't, because I wasn't raised up.
I don't even know how. I could strongly dislike and want to knock your block off.
Right.
But I'll probably buy you a coffee after I pick you up.
So I think that's, I'm not saying that we don't have Black Americans that don't hate. We do. We have people of every culture and every race that hate. It doesn't do you any good, but there are people. But just because, what did Dr. King say? Judge the person by the character of their heart and their actions, and not the color of their skin.
You asking me what he said?
Well, we black.
He said, "Coretta, I love butter on my popcorn."
But that's one thing I never understood, Jeff, and I still don't understand to this day.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of cases it's maybe not necessarily intentional hate, but it's a fear of losing something.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I understand that.
We like to have the advantage. We don't want to lose that.
Don't say we, because I'll hang up on you.
I'm just saying that my people, right?
You know what, though? It's amazing, Jeff, because truly, honestly, what would I take over? What would black people take over? Well, we're going to sell fried chicken and rims to everybody and make everybody put rims on their car or something? I mean, I'm just, all people just want
to do the stereotype.
Hey, I can stereotype us. But I'm just, I mean, when people say that, but like, it's like when I watch some of these Karens on different people, I'm like, what do you think I want to do? I want my check. But there are people that want power. I mean, there are people that I don't know. I'm baffled. I'm just stumbling all over myself, because this is something I've never been able to figure out. What do you think that I actually want, other than fairness, equality, and to be able to live?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, I don't want nothing else. I want for my son and my grandchildren to let you know what, it's funny, my oldest grandson and my granddaughter were the only black students at a school in Shanahan. It drove me nuts. They did okay. Actually, they did good. My granddaughter wasn't having it, but my grandson just he fit in, and you know what I'm gonna tell you, I felt like a sellout. I felt like a sellout. I felt like I shouldn't have him in an all white school, and it's not because a disdain or a dislike for white people. It's just I know how people are, and I would
Right.
hate for him that I would hate at 55 to feel like here's my time to go to prison. I think about that.
Wow.
I always feel like it's gonna be a day. It's gonna be something that's gonna make me cross the line. I pray it don't happen, but I got I got to see 50, almost 56 years of my life. I guess I need to make sure that mine get to this age. And I mean, and it's man, I think about that all the time. I think about it all the time. But you know what? I don't want to go to all black school either. Whew.
But you know what? Central was kind of culturally mixed when we went to school.
Central, I had a very good 4 years at Central,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna tell you, we were.
Yeah.
I don't know if in the '80s we were actually a majority.
No, we weren't. I don't believe.
So, but it might have been close, like with 40. No, it might have been. It was with margins. We were very close because all of our events were always mixed.
Yeah.
But now you go down that bad boy.
You know, by the time I got there, I think it was probably majority black.
When you got there, the majority Mexican.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Soccer team.
Yeah, I was on the soccer
Yeah.
team.
He just kicked out the face.
Oh, they got a good soccer team. That ain't stereotyping. Now if I'd said they got a mariachi band, then that'd be different. they got
I was co-captain my sophomore year,
of what?
sophomore team, the soccer team.
Was it?
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't always fat, you know.
No, I agree that. Yeah. Send picture. If you don't got a video clip, we don't believe it. Yeah, Jeff. You know what? You know it's funny. I made Jeff one of the admins of the break room page. He probably don't know it. Probably don't care, but I just felt
No,
like-
I did. I noticed that because all of a sudden I was getting a request to approve posts and stuff. I'm like, what is
There you
this?
go. You know what? Don't worry about it. See, it's just like when you want to open up a business, you got to put a white dude up front. We
Yeah,
might
right.
We might want to open up a corporation. We're like, Jeff is the owner of the break room.
Well, but if you want grants and stuff, maybe you don't want to do that.
What'd you say?
If you want grants, maybe you don't want to do that. You can get there's special grants if you're 51%
Well, guess
minority.
what? We change it back up. I can always delete you.
Or
We might want to get a break room van at a low interest rate. Let the white guy go in there and get it.
we're ethnically fluid.
I hear you. Hey man, we just wanted to give you a shout, man. Let people know that you are one of the break room favorites, and you're also an admin. We had Devin on it last week, and it absolutely sucked because Devin. I don't want to do that, man. That's my point.
I also have some music that I'm working on, but it's kind of on hold because I'm in the process of selling my house and moving and stuff. But
You know what?
we'll bless them.
You've been at that. Have you been at that project for me? Hey, by the way, Jeff is a very accomplished
What do you play, man?
musician. Jeff plays the saxophone,
Oh,
the
snap.
keyboards.
If you ask the band, I play everything.
Yeah, you ask Honus. Jeff plays everything. He sings all of the parts, and he plays everything. Man, Jeff is quite the man. Sometimes when I can't sing, Jeff stands in for me. He does the Barry White. He's the Barry White. Barry White.
I'm not Barry White. I'm very white.
I'm Barry White. That's Barry White. Give it one time, Barry White, ladies and gentlemen. Man, it was a pleasure having you on, Jeff. Man, we'll find something else. I couldn't think of that. I wanted to ask you all kinds of white people questions, but it didn't come to mind. So maybe that's what the Lord wanted. I don't know.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, man. We'll get at you.
Thanks,
That's
man.
Jeff Thompson, the master everything, the master musician.
We'll have you back
all
on
that
one
good
of our
stuff.
panels, man.
We ain't gonna have
for
you
sure.
back.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I've been back.
All right, man. We'll give you a shout later.
All right.
Yeah.
Jeff Thompson. That's right. The voice of reason. When you need good credit in the break room, we let the white man go forward because we'll get denied. The banks don't like brothers sometimes, even with a good credit score. They just, like all the white people in my neighborhood, I'm thinking like, I know I got a better job than him. How they got a 2021 truck? That truck is $80,000. It's just one of them things, man. I just always wanted that kind of stuff. I'm always counting people's money.
Yes, sir. We just want to give a shout out. That last segment was brought to you by Wevo.
Weebo.
Merchandising and sportswear.
I would have worn my Weebo. I have a nice camouflage windbreaker. If you don't know it by now, I'm into the color black and camouflage and little glasses. Yep. So Scott Williams is the CEO and the owner of Weibo, lifelong friend.
Yes,
He's
sir.
always on the move. We'll one day when we have some engineer training, when we say that, we'll have her put it on the lower thirds across the bottom. Weibo, Webo. Yeah. All right. So anyway,
Check out his website. We will place it on the page. We ask that you would just go to his website and buy some stuff.
that's right, man.
Get some nice merchandise on there.
You know what? I was trying to get up with Todd Wooten earlier, because Todd is a fireball. You know, Todd is a lot. And Todd knows a lot about what's going on in our community, our local community.
Man,
You know, some stuff going on in Joliet.
why did 5 black people vote against each other? Why?
Because what we just showed the entire world, which we already know, that we are not on one accord, and we will probably not be on one accord
I mean, why not pick the strongest candidate and back them up?
because they don't like the strongest candidate. Because one, he was there before, and people have this thing about saying, "Well, politicians, they didn't do nothing." I mean, what did you do? You know, it's just one of those things. So 5 blacks, they split the vote. So now nobody.
We don't
It's just
have
like
one black African person.
It's just like I'm taking my ball, I'm going home. Nobody gets behind each other. And you know, for whatever reason, you know, I'm not gonna even just say, hey, get behind the most, you know what, but if you have a forum where you could get together and you could have, which almost sounds impossible and I'm embarrassed, we should be able, all those candidates should have a open caucus, a open forum,
Yeah.
and they should be able to talk, and we should be able to, you know, we should be able to come to a conclusion out of the people that are representing us. Because right now, well, Terry Morris was there, and I guess Betty Gavin's there, but no one is representing us.
Not one person.
We got 2 people with 1,000 votes. Roger Powell, and I'm not, you may be related to him. I know Roger personally. I work with him. I'm not going to say who's qualified, who's not. It's not my business. But Roger's been on the ballot since 80. I got out the military in 86. Roger Powell's been on the ballot.
Wow.
Roger got 1,000 votes. So sometimes, I might get in trouble, but you might want to try Jesus, not me, because I fight. I'm trying to figure out, is somebody getting paid? Is somebody getting paid to run or something? Because I don't understand. I don't understand how. I'm just gonna say it. I don't understand how. Well, you got 1,000 votes. I mean, you vote for who you want, but I just wonder. Like, matter of fact, if you voted for Roger, why don't you call us at the break room? I mean, and Roger's a good guy. I shouldn't say that, but I think after you've been on the ballot since '86, I think maybe you should get behind somebody else. But black people, and I can't speak for all of them, but I have some experience, and I think that it's probably one of the same reasons why we have 75 churches.
Wow.
We have 75 churches because somebody don't want to be led.
Wow.
But in order to be a good leader, you must have had to have been a good follower first.
Wow.
People don't want to lead. People don't want to be led. People want their own agenda. People want to be in charge. So that's why we have 30 churches. No. We probably got 100 churches, and
Right.
we probably got 35 to 40 of them that are failing. Just to say you have a church. If you had a church in your van, then maybe you should have thought about it. Or if you had to have 5 or 6 churches, then maybe I can't say what's your calling or not, but maybe your numbers are unpublished.
Wow.
It's just, we have to find a way to, like, Pastor Hayes is a personal friend of mine. So I can say this. Have I agreed with every single thing he has said
No, yeah.
as a friend and even as a pastor? No, I have not. That is not a reason for me. And you know what? People think because we're friends, I hadn't been sternly spoke to or scolded or in a sense, or
Come
but he will. And because I respect him, I could take that like a man. I could take
Right.
being corrected. That's the whole thing.
on. Right.
I could be corrected because I respect him. Now, if I didn't respect him, then I wouldn't be able to be correct. If I didn't think he was led, or if I didn't see the things manifested in his life. And it's just like with your pastor.
Yeah.
And I've always respected as a person. Growing up, I've always respected him as a man and as a person.
Yeah.
And I haven't experienced him as a pastor, but I remember when he got called into the ministry.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a person I've always respected. So I wouldn't have as a man, I don't have a problem being led.
Right.
But at the same time, it's your job to get in your word
That's it.
and make it line up.
That's it.
Some things you may not agree with, but I don't trust that I'm on 100% right to go with my own opinion all the time.
Right.
Even I need counsel.
Right.
Men need counsel. Men don't seek it. And that's why we have, nowadays it's just 2021 and we have women pastors. We got all of that. And we breaking out and having churches with 5, 6 members, 7 members, church in the van, church, we doing whatever because we want to be our own leaders. We don't want to succumb or listen to
under somebody else.
we don't want to be. And I'm telling you, after being in the ministry field, and you know that's nothing that nobody in their right mind wants to be a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody just like, hey, I want to go and be a pastor.
Be like, yes, Lord, but
You know what? And it's just like, and I speak, and I speak for them. And so when I speak for somebody and say something, then trust me, I understand. I already know it's all right. And I've had conversations with them like, I put up with a whole lot of people on a whole lot of situations, and I didn't ask for this job.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for this job.
Yeah, no.
So it really makes it hard for you to put up with a job. You didn't ask for a guy. He was assigned that job, and he understands what his purpose and his assignment is. But the human side says, hey, I'm done with this. I'm giving and I'm doing to people, and then let me miss one person, and I have 500, 600 people to look out for,
You scrutinized.
and now, so, yeah, nobody in their right mind has a desire or wanted to, set out that, Well, no, people do, and those are usually the ones that ain't called. That's the way that works.
I think the men of God, and I know the men of God have a desire to please God, but when it comes to shepherding the flock, it ain't no joke.
Of course, it's not a joke. It's not easy being a boss. It's not easy being a supervisor.
Right.
It's not easy being a lead man. It's not easy
Right.
running a family. It's going to always be something. So imagine with all those different personalities.
Yeah.
It's just like the world is so against the church. And just like the stereotypes we're talking about, the world is against the church because you got Don Juans out here. You got people exploiting and spending money.
Yeah.
We were going to have a segment about tithing, because that ruffles people's skin. And then I'm watching people crash churches. Well, they got an airplane. The pastor got this and that. The pastor got this and that. And the community that he come from is suffering. I'm like, so how much tithe do you think the person that's poor paid in the first place?
Well,
Just, hey man, that's a whole nother story. But I'm gonna tell you,
big story there.
I'm gonna let it go because I'm gonna tell you this. If I'm under somebody and they raggedy and they toe up and they got raggedy vehicle, I'm not good. I'm not good to follow that. I'm not with that one. I want the best for anybody who's my leader. I want the best for my leader. I want the best for people I love, period. That's the whole
What
thing.
if they're raggedy and making a big impact in the community?
Well, you know what? Then guess what? Then let that be it. Because it's got to be one or the other. If you're making a big impact in the community,
Right.
then of course, work proves the craftsman.
Right.
I don't believe that everybody is supposed to be rich, wealthy, blah blah blah. But as for me, I wouldn't want a leader of mine to be poor and raggedy.
Of course not.
But now, if so, that's that could be a touchy subject. But I mean, let's find somebody that's doing it. Let's find somebody that's raggedy and don't have it together and credit messed up and all that. And I think, huh?
You won't find.
Well, I'm just saying because I think in order to be a good steward in that area, you have to be a good steward in other parts of your life.
That's right.
I believe that. I believe you lead by example. I believe you should. You're over people if you can't get financed or your credit score is 200. I mean, I just feel like to me that's some things. Think about it. You can lose or gain a job based on credit because credit speaks about your character. We've all had flaws and we don't have perfect.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I think that you need to have it together. But that's my choice. That's my choice. I'm going to now. If I'm led to do something different, then I'll let it be known. But right now, I believe I have a choice, and I have a choice, and I don't want somebody that's raggedy, somebody that not proving themselves, somebody that does not,
Been through the trenches.
yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And a lot of people look at the ending, or the so-called ending, like the building we have down on the east side of Joliet. You don't know the beginning and what
I do.
Pastor and them went through.
I remember
some
the
was in
building. I remember.
schools and
I remember
things
the
like that.
inside of it. Period. I remember. I mean, and from the natural man standpoint, that did something for the neighborhood.
Yeah,
It uplifted the neighborhood. And if you are a property owner on, what is it, Gardner?
Gardner and Fourth, yeah.
So I'm guaranteeing you that your property sustained, or it had to rise, because that place had been issued. It had been issues in that place. Even when we were kids, I don't know what it was, but they tried to have parties there and different things there.
Yeah.
So now you got a beautiful edifice that somebody took from nothing to a beautiful edifice. It makes your community look good, and it's just, and somebody who's already established, somebody who's already retired, somebody who worked for all of his dollars already.
You sure did.
He worked and he put in the time. So you can't say he's living off of this, living off that. The man did his own thing. I mean, led by God, he did his thing. And not only that, he lifted the community. He made the community a better place. And I think he did the city of Joliet a huge favor
Man.
by being led to pick that place. Simple as that.
You could have picked anywhere. I mean, multiple.
But he's from right up the street.
People move on the west side.
But he's from right up the street.
Right.
What, Joliet was playing? He's from right up the street. He kept it in his community,
Right.
and he
South
did his
End.
thing. He's from the South End, and now he has a beautiful place there. So, and I mean, like I say, you don't want to see him riding ragged.
No.
I mean, that's just me, man. But that's who I am. I was watching a YouTube video. These guys bombarded church, kicked the doors in, and I can't think of the group name, but they're supposed to be activists in Detroit, disrupt the service and blah blah blah. This and that. That's not the way you get stuff done.
No.
That's not the way you get things done. People want to blame everything on the church. And think about it. I have had many conversations with people, and they just thieves. They just blah blah blah. You know what? Because there may have been one or two. There may have been some.
Right.
There may have been some. Black people hate to be stereotyped, right? But they will stereotype every other situation. They want to stereotype. They want to group all pastors. They want to group women pastors. They want to group whatever. God created individuals.
It is a shame your CEO at your job would be a pedophile, but you'll still go there and work and get that money, won't
You
you?
go there and work, because it's just, man, we find our own things. We find our own ways to tear down.
Yeah.
But you know what? I also know that people are not, and it's not, I'm going to forever be black. I can't do nothing about it. People who pretend to be happy, people act like they're happy for you. People are better. People feel better about you sometimes when you're struggling and you can't hardly make it.
Right.
If people think that you're doing better than them, or I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
Man. It's not about that.
I don't all of my friends, if you're not doing good, if Devin and Andre, if the people I grew up with are not doing good, man, I don't feel good about that.
Right.
I don't like that one bit. So it's like people don't. I put a long post last week. People don't remember, or people don't know that. There's a time I couldn't buy a stick of deodorant, couldn't buy disposable razors, sitting in the dark, couldn't pay the electric, and had Charity eating up chopped up hot dogs and noodles and all that. People don't think about it. They just see now you get a car, you spend. People don't think about what it took for me to get to a certain point. I should be able to go buy a steak and back. I got 19 years on the job.
Right.
But I didn't have that. Didn't have no unemployment. Couldn't pay rent. People.
See the struggle.
That's what people want to see. People want to see you struggling, man. Because people. I mean, well, I shouldn't say people, but there are people. Some people want you to succeed. I can't tell you one person who I want to fail.
No, man.
I don't have any real enemies
fail.
that I know of, but I don't want anybody to fail. You can do good even if I don't mess with you. I don't have to kick it with you. I just want everybody to be doing well, man.
Want everybody to be blessed, but you don't want them to have your blessings. Let me reiterate why I say that, because you don't know the hell that person went through to get those blessings. You definitely don't. The hell that you got to go through is for you, not the other person. So go through what you have to go through and let God pull you through your situation, because what God has for you, what we used to say, what God has for you is for
It's for
you.
you.
And I didn't come on here to preach. You don't have me preaching in a minute.
You know what? You know what? But see, the break room is about some of everything. You know, and today it just happens to land on that. Now, let's not to contradict you, but a lot of people use that for an excuse.
Yeah.
What he has for you is for you. No,
Yeah.
you can blow that. You can mess that up.
Yeah.
You could be disobedient. You could pull yourself knowingly out of his will, and then guess what? What you have for you, it ain't for you no more, because you messed it
reap
up.
what you sow.
You reap what you sow, so that almost debunks. Matter of fact, if that ain't scripture, I'm gonna quit. I ain't using that no more. What they didn't make songs out of it.
That was a cliche.
Okay, well, throw that in the garbage. It must not meant to be.
That's cliche.
People kill you.
Chapter 4, verse 2.
Cliche. Look, it's right next to Ecclesiastics. Cliche. The 3rd chapter is right next to. It's a short chapter. It's one of the removed books that all these black activist scholars talk about. It's missing books in the Bible. How you know? They missing. I'm just saying. So I don't use that. I never used it. I heard it in the song. I get the concept of what he has for me is for me. Yes, he has. But here's this concept. What if you get to the kingdom and then he tells you, hey, you're out there barely making it.
I ain't tell you to do that.
All this is yours. You didn't get nothing. You left Earth with all this potential. All the things I had unlocked. All the things I was waiting for you to wait. Matter of fact, all the things that were stuck in the realm between heaven and earth. All the things that were stuck waiting for you to claim and get. You don't have to work for a gift. You know, it's just like some of these things we should have. It's just, what if we responsible for the things that we didn't get when we make it to see them? What are we responsible for that?
Mm.
I mean, so that should knock your ceiling off. We should. At this age, I still feel like my best is yet to come. I still feel that there's wealth in my genes.
Yes, sir.
And not my Levi's. I'm talking about my DNA genes.
Yes, sir.
So the thing is, I don't want to leave here with any potential left in the tank. I want to be all I can. And that's why we are the way we are with our children and other people.
Yeah.
They don't get it, but when they, like the old folks say, you'll see it all by and by. I was waiting for Devin. I don't know if we sent them the link today.
No, Dev can't make it tonight. I already hollered
Dev
at him.
can't make it, ladies and gentlemen. I could add somebody else.
He'll be with us next week.
Dev will be with us next week. Yeah, so you know what? You happen to catch the break room when some spiritual talk is happening. But you know, that's what we want to be about. We don't want to bombard you and hit you over the head with all the things. I know we have silly moments.
Right.
We have things, but you know what? I'm gonna never be ashamed to be a believer.
Never.
And it's just
never.
Do I fit your stereotypical makeup of not I know I don't. But you know what? These are the John the Baptist. He's rocking around here in the loincloth eating locusts and honey.
Come on, man.
So what I'm saying is we got wrapped up into tradition where you have to wear a suit and tie, you have to
be Sadducees.
Yeah, those and thous Sadducees. You see, I'm not Sadducee. I'm not Pharisee either. Hey, look at our engineer over there looking crazy. It's just one of them things. This is who I am. This is always going to be the core of who I am. So you can't always look at the fact that quite often I act a fool. But the thing is, I'm human. I'm going to be human. And I learned. I was telling one of my friends, actually, a friend my name Lynn. I grew up. I was always naturally funny, just without even trying. But I grew up there with like all of that joking and Justin, you going to hell. I'm thinking like, I'm going to hell because I said something funny, or I wasn't even trying to be funny. So, and I was in bondage for years about have a funny thought or say something funny and people laugh, and then folks will look at me, and then the folks at church was like, all that joking, and they say, Justin, all that joking and Justin, you gonna bust hell wide open. I'm thinking like, You 400 pounds. You just ate 4 buckets of chicken and a large pop. Where you going?
Well,
But no, but it honestly handicapped me. It handicapped me to where I felt like something was wrong with me because I always had a lot of funny thoughts, always said funny things, and people always perceived me in a comical way. But then as I opened my eyes and the scales fell off, I realized that first of all, it's in the word that laughter is good for the soul.
yes, sir.
So if laughter is good for the soul and people laugh when I say stuff, somebody lying. And guess what? It might have been that church mother. And see, we reverenced them and we had them in such a high regard to we wouldn't kick against it. But I look back now, and in my 50s, I was slightly. I would say this. I was affected well up into my 40s
Yeah.
with a lot of tradition and a
Yeah.
lot of things that
There
happened.
you go.
You got an earring in your ear.
Yeah.
You know the Amalekites or the enemies of God wore an earring in their ear. So I'm like, I had to ask myself, so if I put this, so I wore this earring, this diamond, does that make me an enemy of God? You know, people put things on your mind that make you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Then they tell you, well, my sheep know my voice. But if you already implanted all that in my conscience, it's gonna speak over what anything I hear and what you program. If I'm programmed, I'm not gonna be able to hear the voice anyway. Now, yeah, God has a way, but I'll doubt everything based on what you taught me.
Right.
What you taught me. I mean, I could go on for days. I could tell you that I was told, well, hey, you didn't get up, you didn't accept, you didn't get in the line when you had the chance. So when you get ready to call on Jesus, he's gonna be like, he's gonna turn a deaf ear on you because you didn't accept him right then and right there. And people still believe that. So I tell you this, and it's a serious matter. When I left at 17, I was busting at the seams to leave. My mom wouldn't sign, so I left this place, and I went to the military at 18. And I wanted to get out of the traditional ways and just I'm just gonna say in a sanctified house, I wanted to get out of that so bad till I chose to go let the white man scream and holler in my face, call me everything he wanted to. I'd rather put up with that than deal with the fact that I was talented. I had a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts that I could not explore, I couldn't do in the traditional setting that I was in.
Right.
But I'll never forget they told me, well, what you gonna call on God now? What you gonna call him now for? You had a chance to get in line, you didn't, or you didn't accept him the traditional way, so he ain't gonna listen to you. And you know, when I got back, I checked them on that, and they were like, we never said that. Like, do you understand? I would never forget that. I was at the age because I've been in situations overseas and in other different countries where the first thing that come to my mind was call on Jesus. Jesus, because I believe it. And then I thought, well, what am I calling for? I didn't get in line. I didn't
Wow.
go get, I didn't go before men and confess all my wrong. I didn't do all that. So, I could have got wiped out, but God knew my heart then, just like he knows it now. And he knows that although I have a slight resent for some of the training, I also understand that some of these people just didn't know better. Our parents, just think about it, man. Our grandparents, we descendants of slaves, so we wasn't familiar with reading and studying to show that self-improved.
Right.
We were whatever they
library.
said do,
Right.
we were gonna do. So, I'm telling you, man, that should be a segment. I'm not gonna get on the pants and all that because I still have people that wear pants, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I remember my godmother, man. I'm praying for God to bless me with a job. Then she get one of the first ladies hired at the railroad. Then they told her to wear pants, and then she didn't want to miss the job. So I imagine if she paraphrasing, if she said, "Well, Lord, I want you to bless me with a job," I did, and you quit. Bless yourself down there. I did. You didn't. I blessed you, but you didn't want to wear the pants and the uniform. So
he could have been the best athlete in the world, but you
who?
couldn't wear shorts.
Who?
I'm just saying in general.
But it's funny because we know people.
Yeah.
General, but I know. Maybe it's Blaylock. I know a lot of people that
I'm not
were.
gonna say no names. He just said names.
Maybe
It was
Blaylock.
all the way back to
Maybe
1982.
it was a whole lot of athletes. It was a whole lot of girls that were athletes.
Yeah.
In gym. How you gonna because I will say, and now that I'm a father of all these girls and all these goddaughters, them volleyball shorts are too short.
They was back in
They
the
look like panties. It's a Victoria's Secret.
Now,
They super short. Now that I'm a dad and granddad, I'm like, that's too short. In high school, I'm like, Before that, I'm like, those are some nice shorts. But I mean, look, as a dad, my daughter Kevin, when she came on with them little things for cheerleading, I was like, them drawers? No, Dad, these are. And she had to pay 30. I had to pay 30. I said, I hadn't paid $30 for almost look like a G string.
Right.
You got on the chili. That's a mess. I said, tell the coach to give you some bigger ones. She was
Our engineer is still a youngin. I'll say she's young. When did that start with the clothes change?
It's been like that, Les. The cheerleaders?
Nah, it ain't been like
What do you mean?
like it's progressively gotten worse now. Like in high school now,
Hey, man.
like I look at pictures from when y'all was in high school. At least their skirts still had a little bit of length to them. Now you go to these gang girl skirts is
Well, I understand that, but I'm talking about the underlayment. That piece of $20, $30 piece of
the
drawers.
tight. I mean the Spanx
That's
always.
crazy.
But the thing, what I'm saying, you can see that they're visible. But see, let's just face it, cheerleading outfits aren't made for black women.
No,
How
they're
about
not.
that?
No, they're
So when Karen wear one, it's just almost to the back of her leg. When Bertha wear one, it look like an umbrella.
I don't know anymore. They're getting surgeries and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's just amazing, man. It's just the world is something else, man. I'm glad to still be here in it.
Yes, sir.
See a lot of changes, man. But it is what it is. What time is it, Les?
It's time for the break room to be over.
We just scooted all through the break room. We just like I say, hey, there's gonna be moments you're gonna hear some things. They may not be. I can speak for myself. Les has always been pretty mild mannered. He's always been the opposite of me. That's probably why we get along. Real quick, I remember one time we won a talent show.
Which one was that?
We won all of them, except for when I left, you couldn't beat Devin. But we won at JUCO. We got there and sang, and so we sang a whining song. You was draped in tradition.
Yeah, I sure was.
Look, because we sang a whining song,
Man.
tore the crowd up, and then I think during the half they played some I wanna, and I got up there and started singing Keith Sweat.
You know what? Religion had me so jacked.
Yeah, well,
Even as a
I
young
started-
man, I was scared to get out there and dance.
I started.
because
No, when? Not after.
You was going to hell.
Not at first, because you was man. I was trying to do it like you. The rerun, hit yourself on the head. Bloop, bloop. Let's just do all that.
Pop locking like rerun.
That's what killed it. But you know what? Anyway, man, I got up there and started singing it, just kind of messed with the crowd. And I looked over, to the side. I looked over to off the stage. You was like, you just got done singing gospel. You just got done singing gospel. You just got done singing. I'm looking at you like, I wanna. I see you last night. I saw you standing there. Of course, I'd have got a whooping because we couldn't. If you wasn't James Cleveland, I mean, Hayes Jackson, you couldn't play it at my house either.
I think my children, not to have to tell them, whatever you do, just do it. If you want to go secular, go secular. I know that you love God. I know I brought you up in the way that you should go. If you decide to go secular, go for it. Do what your
Ain't that
heart
amazing?
desires to do. You can still reach people in the secular realm because of your foundation.
Of course you
Don't go
can,
in there wild and out.
like I did. Les, I know we're gonna cut off soon, but we run the show. So look,
We were in the show.
I could sing. I started singing at an early age. I could sing everything. Couldn't listen to other music in the house. I had a close and play record player. You know what I'm saying? I had all of them gospel songs and gospel albums because that's what traditionalists. I wish. Actually, the Winans was a little too contemporary for them back in the day.
Show was.
And Commission was just like they was done by the time Commission
Right.
came out. But you know what? I can sing all those songs. I could do all that. I led songs in church. I did all that. But I couldn't sing in talent. Any talent show I went to, I had to sneak to. I had to sneak and say I was somewhere else. So then I had to hide the trophy.
Wow.
I still got the trophies.
Wow.
I had to hide them because I couldn't be caught singing devil music. That's what it's called. It's called devil music. Yes, the devil wrote that,
Bring
right?
your trophies in to showcase to the people.
I'm gonna bring them all in. I'm gonna bring all my trophies for them. Look, but what I'm saying is, I could go sing a secular song at a wedding, though.
Exactly.
I can go sing "Ribbon in the Sky." You and I can sing it as long as at a wedding. We were very confused back then.
Yeah, very.
We were very confused. I could do all that at a wedding, but I couldn't sing it on my own or at the talent show.
Come on,
I'm gonna tell you, when we were the Fabulous Four, everybody
way back.
clap your hands. We're the Fabulous Four. We're gonna make you jam. Les don't
And
remember.
do no more.
Don't you get? But what I'm saying is, when my mama found that tape, you know, because we used to put it on tapes. My mama found that tape and listened to it. So when the lady, when all the nurses come in the room, you what? I was like, she started quoting my lines. That's a mess. That ain't nothing but the devil. I'm thinking like, yeah, you're right, Mom. The devil is in the Fabulous Four.
You know, we were so cold. We used to make mixtapes on tape cassettes.
That's right. We had mixtape. We did all that, but it was of the devil. That's why it didn't go nowhere. Right? You're right. They didn't know. They didn't know, but you know what? They didn't care to know at that time. They just knew what they were being told, and
Trying to get us in the right way.
they inflicted. I mean, so I give them. That's what stops me from having full resentment.
Yeah.
It made a difference. It made me aware, but I felt like there's some things that I possibly missed. I could only go to Les's house. Les could only go to my house.
Sure could.
Any place else we went, we snuck.
Sure did. Jimmy out there, if you watching, he's come by the crib and get me because I couldn't go nowhere.
So
Mama
what?
trust them. I trust Tori and Jimmy and them.
So it's just, man. You know
Yeah.
what? I get it. I get it. But you know what? I always say this. They should be glad. I shouldn't say it like that. They should be glad that I love God now, love Jesus now, because it sounds harsh, but they could have easily made me hate him. I mean, Mama, can I go bowling? You need to go downstairs and read your Bible. Mama, can I get in the talent show? I want to see you. You don't need to get in that. That ain't nothing but the devil. The devil ain't gonna be at the talent show. So what I'm saying is all of that. Even when girls come, who is this heifer car in the house? It's a heifer. Who is this heifer car? I mean, so it's just like,
Oh,
I mean,
my goodness.
and the thing is, we don't know what they were going through,
Right.
but whatever they were going through, it affected us. And I'm telling you, I left here immediately. It didn't matter that I had scholarships. It didn't matter that I had theater scholarships. I had a whole lot of stuff lined up, but my thing was get out of this house. And I got out of that house, and I hadn't been back. So it's
You
just,
could have went places with that show choir. I didn't even know what that was.
I did all of that, man. Look,
I know because Shanika was in it now, but
Of course.
that's phenomenal.
Look, I was memorizing scripts. I was the first probably black lead
Sure
in
was.
three operettas. Just that was what my niche.
Oklahoma played.
I was doing all that. I was doing opera. I was singing Latin music, winning contests. It's just, but I just wanted to, I had a lot of offers and different things, but
Yeah,
I just wanted to get out of there because
religion.
religion. And like I say, just know. I mean, I love my mom. My dad was a little more of the giving, but they didn't understand. You have to get an understanding. And now sometimes I wonder, do we go the opposite and just let our kids just?
No, I don't think we do that. No.
You don't think you don't think you went hard left to make sure that they didn't have to go through some of the same things you went through?
I learned late, like you said, deep into your 40s, you didn't realize how religious you was.
Mm.
And there was some religiosity that went on in my household till I woke up and realized some of the stuff that I was taught was either taken out of context in the Word of God or wasn't even in the Word of God. It was just there, man-made to keep you in line so you wouldn't stray outside the box. They even use that scriptures that says, come out from among them.
From among them.
I think that's more so of a mindset.
Of course it is. 'Cause
Come
your mind
out
is
from
going
among
first.
them. I'm not thinking like you because I'm thinking about the kingdom. I'm inside the kingdom.
Mhm.
So therefore, when I come around somebody that's not in the kingdom, what's inside of me should rub off on them, even if I don't have to preach to them because
Absolutely.
of who I am. The kingdom is going to rub off on them. So I'm not thinking like them. I'm thinking kingdom minded.
Mhm.
So therefore, if they're not kingdom minded, I'm not going to beat them over the head with the Bible. I'm going to love on them, and I'm going to be real and be transparent.
So let me say this, Les, because I hope I don't put you on the spot. So we grew up. Let's say, I'll keep you perfect peace if you keep your mind stayed on me. So I found myself in school. I wonder what Jesus is doing. I mean, I wonder what the Lord is doing right now. So I mean, you think see what I'm saying? Stupid stuff come to mind. So especially during revival, while we tearing and foaming at the mouth, tarry service. That's another story. I got to tarry and work for a gift. I got to. After a while, it don't sound like that. Sound like a train.
Going way back.
So what I'm saying is, y'all can get offended if you want to. Try Jesus, not me. I fight. But what I'm saying is, some people got it like that, I guess. Hey, I'm never going to work for a gift.
Mm.
I think you do have to be lined up. I think certain things, certain pathways have to be clear. I believe you have to live a certain way, but you are still given a gift. So all of that, that's amazing to me. But God does what He wants to do. Some people tarried and got it after doing all that. Some people didn't have to. It's just like some people will look at you, or they were smoking cigarettes and drinking, and they automatically judge them. You ever thought about, like, sometimes God takes the taste directly from a person?
Right.
Sometimes God takes the taste of alcohol and nicotine directly from them.
Right.
And then, so now they think that because that happened to them, they have a special boost or a special favor or a special anointing because it happened. But some people, God wants to go through the process.
That's good.
Some people, God wants to go through the journey. I mean, because if you knew all I've been through, you would never pick a counselor over me who hadn't been through nothing. Some people got to go through the process. So you can't judge the ones that have not made it to where you made it. The ones who may not be able to speak in beautiful tongues like you. The ones that may not be able to do a lot of other things. I'm telling you, you better quit worrying about them and worry about yourself, because God has other things planned, and He has other ways and other methods that are not like ours, because His ways are not His ways. Our thoughts are not His thoughts.
Sir.
So just leave it alone. You see somebody on the street not doing good, you can't look down on them. I'm telling you, it says, "For are you not aware that we are entertaining angels?" Yeah, Steve McBlack knows some of that word, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up one time. Let me find the applause button. Anyway, we did a lot of talking, and we just let it ride. Actually, next week we have a relationship coach, so you don't have to rely on me and Les doing all the talking and just having people on here. But hey, that's what the break room is about. It's not going to always be a pretty thing. It's not going to always be a professional thing. It's going to be sometimes whatever is laid on our heart to say.
That's right.
And we hope that maybe anything that you heard reach somebody. We grew up a lot alike. And even though it seems like we have a lot of characteristics that are the same, we just have a different way of displaying them. So,
Delayed reaction.
so we just want you to keep tuning in. Hey, you know what? We could always make a commercial for you. You could what should you give it a signal?
No, there's somebody asked a question in the comments.
What do they want to know?
Oh, what's the question?
Why don't you say something?
I just
You're
seen
supposed to be
it.
our comment
I'm
person.
sorry.
Oh man,
They
we going back
just
to Audio Hive. That's it.
They
What is it?
literally just posted it 2 minutes
What
ago.
they say?
It says religious. I think it's supposed to say religion.
You can't read that?
Religion or relationship, which is more beneficial?
Relationship.
Relationship.
Most definitely.
Who is that? Bust their name out. Just tell me. I want to know.
I had to look on
You ain't
here
got to look.
to say that.
Find out so I can bust them out. No, actually, I think what we didn't have was relationships. That's why you know what? It's just like this. Religion became a bad word,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be, because religion, man-made religion.
Oh, it was Scott Williams.
Okay, well, Scott playing games. Scott nothing answer to that. Scott just didn't have nothing else to
That's
do.
our brother from another mother.
But you know what? Had we had relationships, we would have actually understood for our own self. I mean, let's take the relationship thing by chance. Relationship. You have a relationship with your lady, your friend, your let's just say your wife. You have a relationship with them. What goes on in the confines of your relationship in your house, in your bed, in your domain, that's your relationship. Your relationship with God is that's why I say He's married. Look, you are married. He said He's married to the sinner. We all sinners.
Yes, sir.
So that means, therefore, you have a relationship with Him that's not general, that's not public. Some people want to have a public, open relationship and all that, but a real relationship is not like that, because when you have a wife or a boyfriend, girlfriend, your relationship and what you do is not open to the world.
Come on.
So I can't look at your relationship and be like, they don't get along. They're not holding hands. They don't never kiss. They ain't never in the same car. And they can be probably the most profound couple, the most
Right.
loving couple in the world, because we on the outside looking. And guess what? Had we had known that our relationship with Christ was like that, and it wasn't transparent to other people, we would have got a lot further, because we are all, that's why the world thinks we're sheep, because a lot of us still walk one way. We are individuals. And I tell people this all the time. There's probably, since the beginning of time, since Adam and Eve, there's probably been, here's a made up number, a gazillion people that have been on this earth. And out of all of those thousands of zeros behind trillion, I don't know the biggest number, that infinite number, every single one of those people that have been on this earth have a different fingerprint.
Come on.
Every one of them have a unique finger. That means not two people from the entire existence of men have had the same fingerprint. That fingerprint reminds me of what my relationship is with God.
Yeah.
You don't know me
Yeah.
well enough to be in my head and in my heart and in my mind to know what my relationship is.
Yeah.
God may allow me to speak a certain way. He may allow me to act a certain way. You can judge it and base it on whatever you want. So it's like I said, when the relationship thing, had I understood what relationship was a long time ago, it'd have been a wrap. Religion ain't a bad thing. I understand man made it. I understand it's a phrase that man used. And a lot of the black activists and woke people think that, well, religion controls you. Guess what? You are absolutely correct. It has, and it has to a certain extent. It didn't control us to the point where we couldn't think for ourselves. Well, no, man, let me leave that alone, because it did control a certain part of people before we started becoming aware. Just like
Right.
the word Easter, we were tricked into using the word Easter. So now, when you think about it, and we it's such a habit, we just call it Resurrection Day, Resurrection Sunday.
Yeah.
Easter did mean something that we didn't represent, but we still learn as we go. But yeah, your relationship, you got to have a relationship. Your relationship is yours. It's between you and that individual, but in this case, it's between me and God. And that's not an excuse for me to wild out like I do. That's not an excuse for me to do anything. It has nothing to do with anything that you know of, because why? It's my relationship.
Yeah.
It's mine.
Yeah.
Just like what goes on in the bedroom, what goes on, whatever, it's mine. And you can judge it if you want to. It's not going to make me one bit of difference, because it's my relationship.
And then when you have that relationship, you can brag on your relationship, like he said, with your wife or your spouse. When that relationship is tight behind closed doors, then you can go outside the doors and brag about that person anywhere and any place that you go. I remember, this is a true story. I know he don't mind me talking about this, but Deacon Minister Charles Stone, one of the baddest vice lords in Joliet.
Cootie Stone, ladies and gentlemen.
Mess with Cootie Stone.
Actually, not Cootie out.
We end up working together where Scott worked at. We all worked at Interstate Warehouse, and me and Charles used to get into some religious talk, because I was a person, even back then, I would hang with the fellas and play the dozens one day and then go in a different room and read my Bible. And they saw that, but I wasn't beating them across the head with the Bible. And they saw that, then questions start coming from this person and from that person. And me and Charles got into a conversation because he was on that kick. And I'm not saying nothing bad about Muslims, because we got good Muslim brothers and sisters, but we got that white devil section of the Muslims. And he was talking about religion like we're talking about now. And I told Charles, I said, I'm not downing what you're talking about, bro, because I never want to go that route. But I told him, I give you 100% guarantee. I didn't say come to my church. I didn't tell him come to my church. I said, I give you 100% guarantee if you just try God. Just try. I guarantee you won't go back. Man of God tried God. He ain't went
Locked
back.
and loaded.
He ain't went back.
It's like that, man. You know what? My Kung Fu sensei, Drew, when I was taking karate, Drew was definitely into the Muslim race. And I mean, he was definitely, basically, I mean, Drew's a very smart man. But you know what? We started having talks. Now he's the praise and worship leader at Prayer Time. So it's just, I mean, and you know what? It ain't because you lived a perfect life, but you know what?
Right.
like I say, God has a way of doing what He needs to do. You just be a conduit for Him to use you.
Right.
But a lot of people see me, but you know what? A lot of people have come to me. I mean, let me tell you this: in the midst of me just wilding out, I like to have fun, act crazy, wild out. But it freaks you out when somebody will come to you and be like, "Hey, man, can you pray for me?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not bragging, but what I'm saying is, what's in me, or what God, whatever anointing's on me, that's from God.
Yeah.
But when people still see you and ask you to pray for them, or will lay things on you, we kind of let you know that it's okay to be individual. It's okay to be the best. That's all we can be anyway. I mean, I wasn't made to be anybody else. I wasn't made to be TD Jakes, even though I love TD Jakes. I wasn't made to be even less. But the point is, everybody has their way of reaching. And right now, the old school witnessing, it may work. It may work.
Yeah.
It may work, but you know what? People want to see real people.
You do.
People want to see real circumstances and real things. And you know what? And trust me, that's all I can give them. I mean, they can try a lot of things, but I just tell them, don't try. Just try Jesus, because I fight.
That's the best way.
Hey, it's the break room. We know we held you over, but guess what? We're in charge. And our engineer didn't know how to shut the system off, so we're just going to keep talking until
Yeah, it's her fault.
it's her fault.
Giving another shout out to Brian and the Audio Hive. We never want to forget him.
No, we definitely we're not done with you, man. We definitely want to save up a few bucks. We want to promote you, and we want people to definitely buy into your experience. You make a pleasant experience. You make it actually a professional experience. We learned a lot. We definitely are coming back. But like I say, sometimes you gotta stack them dollars, and that's what we're on right now. We're definitely coming back, and we encourage you, because we're not going to broadcast you. We want you to go to Audio Hive. He is also in the break room. You want to do a podcast, you want to do a video blog, go to Audio Hive. Audio Hive, he is the man. Where's our music at? Where's our departing music? You got our departing music? She over there doing something, man. Boy, I tell you.
I'm not doing
Hey, it's your boy, T. McBlack.
It's just Les.
And we'll talk to you next week. Relationship coach, Kim Purdue.
And more. Ooh,
And more.
Kim coming on.
Kim
Okay.
coming on. We
All right.
should make her sing.
All right.
Unless you dropped your phone.
Oh, it is.
Hey, peace. Y'all ain't talking about nothing.